Hey Word Nerds, happy Saturday. For Vlogger's Choice today, let's talk a little bit about writing characters with mental illnesses. First off, if you're an author writing from the point of view of a lived experience, this video isn't necessarily going to be for you. This is more for people that don't have a mental illness at all or are thinking about writing a character that has a different mental illness than they do. For example, a lot of you already know, if you've been following me for a while, that I was diagnosed with OCD last year, and that's been something that I've been writing about in my new book, Witches of Ash and Ruin. But if I were to write about a character that had, say, for example, OCD, but not my theme, then I would want to go get sensitivity writers and people that have lived that actual experience. At the end of this video, I'm going to share a few resources for research, as well as books that feature characters with a variety of mental illnesses. There are a few things to think about when you go to write a character like this, and number one is doing your research. And I don't just mean Wikipedia or even just a doctor's opinion. If you talk to a psychiatrist or a doctor about a particular mental illness, you're going to get a very different picture than if you talk to someone who actually lives with it day to day. This is one of the reasons why sensitivity readers are so important. If you're not coming from an own voice's perspective, it's important to find someone who is. Now, when I'm doing book research, I commonly go to documentaries, TV series, and movies, but something to think about for this subject in particular is how often the media portrays things badly. Keep in mind going into it that media very often has a very backwards damaging perspective on mental health issues. Oftentimes they really seem to glamorize it in strange, disturbing ways, like it's either a superpower or some kind of artistic fuel. If media depictions were true, I would have written like 10 award-winning symphonies, painted a masterpiece, and caught like 10 serial killers by now. Either that or they go the exact opposite way and demonize us, like in the movie Split, where he basically turns into an actual monster. Another thing to think about is even when media does get it right, is that their depiction of things is so narrow. Most people, when they think of OCD, for example, think of either hand washing or checking or counting. And yes, these are very common themes, but it's also the only thing that books, TVs, movies, and documentaries seem to really fixate on. Excuse the terrible OCD pun, which was not intentional. Having this very pervasive idea culturally of what OCD is has gotten into even your general practitioner's mind, and I firmly believe it results in people not getting diagnosed for years. Oh, your anxiety or OCD or bipolar disorder doesn't look the way that I think it should look, then you don't have that, go home. That is just one of the little awful ways that a negative or narrow depiction of any mental illness really can do damage in society. Honestly, I'm just brushing the surface here. This is such a huge topic. An author has so much potential to either bring joy when we see a character that we can identify with, or an author can create damage. So as I said, it's just an immense topic to cover. This is the tip of the iceberg. I will probably do another video soon in the future, maybe even specifically about OCD and writing characters with OCD and the different themes and that kind of thing. But for now, I'll leave you with a couple different resources, including websites and books in the doohickey below. What about you guys? If you have a mental illness, what do you think of the way the media portrays us? Or if you don't have one but are thinking of writing a character that struggles with something like this, what are you afraid of getting wrong? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, the WordNerds have our live chat. We would love to see you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.